Hello, beautiful YouTube. I hope you didn't miss me too much. We are 2 intern interviews down. We have 1 remaining, and I'm really excited for it. It's kid Luca. And supposedly, I'm hearing rumors that he was in the chat of the last internship interview. So I believe he's ready to bring the fire. He actually just hit me up on Skype. He said, "I'm so hyped." Kid's excited. What are you going to do? You guys ready for me to bring him in here? Or should we talk this out for a little? Should we let him sweat it out? Get him a little nervous. Get him a little wet in the pants. Nah, we're going to keep this rolling for a little bit. Let me check all the people fucking yelling at me. Okay. Let's fucking do this. Luca.
I picked up.
We finally have someone that didn't fucking decline my call.
Let's go.
You're excited.
Guess where I am?
You're excited to talk to me. Yeah, listen, you're starting out of the gate hotter than everybody else because you're not starting with a fired strike.
I'm in Emerson, New Jersey.
You're not in Emerson, New Jersey.
I am right next to the high school. I saw you guys did the combine video at the field, and I was like, that's crazy. My little cousins go to the high school.
Wait, are you fucking with me? You're in Emerson right now?
No, I'm in Emerson right now.
Have you been there before, or did you just do this just because you knew we were from there and you're just like, I'm going to go do the interview there?
No, that would be crazy. But my aunt and uncle and my cousins live here, so when they kicked us out of the dorm, this is where I'm staying.
That's incredible. I thought you were trying to, set the tempo from the start. You were trying to throw me off a little bit and get in my head, and it succeeded. Had that been the plan, that was your intention. You succeeded because you fucked me up a little bit.
No.
Now I need to recalibrate.
No.
What kind of Wi-Fi they got going over there in Emerson? Is everything shut down? You're choppy.
What kind of life you said?
No, I said Wi-Fi.
One sec. I don't know. Is it really bad? Should I move?
It's a little choppy or a little pixelated, but I think we could probably work through it. Ain't nothing that big dogs ain't seen before.
Okay. Maybe
Fuck it, Luca.
Maybe I'll go downstairs.
Let's run it. We're good. Don't even worry about it. Don't fucking front. All right. Okay. So you're talking about getting kicked out of the dorms. You're a student at NYU, right?
Yeah.
What are you studying at NYU?
So I study business and marketing. Junior.
Business and marketing. You're a junior. How old are you?
I just turned 21 2 days ago.
Okay. So what did you do for your 21st birthday while being quarantined?
I didn't do anything. I chilled here with the dog, and I FaceTime my friends and stuff, but that's about it.
You guys had like a little. Oh my god! You guys had like a little Zoom fucking birthday powwow.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for you. I feel bad for all the quarantine birthday peoples out there. I'm hoping mine doesn't hit late August. I think I'll be saved from having to stay inside from the quarantine. I'm hoping that we can kick this off. With you, it might be easy because you're in New York. Where are you staying at typically? Like, does NYU have dorms? Do you stay in the dorms there?
Yeah, so I was in the dorms. So I'm always in the city. So I think it'd be pretty easy.
What's the location of NYU?
It's downtown, like Washington Square Park.
Okay, yeah, we're up in Hell's Kitchen, but like, I figure as soon as they let shit open up, you're gonna have to find out a way to get to me. Is that your text messages coming through?
I don't know, it might be on my.
I know you got a lot of friends celebrating your birthday with you and stuff, but we're gonna have to tell them to calm down because we got our priorities in order right now. All right, Luca. What is your full name?
Luca Libera.
Luca Libera. Is there a middle name? I feel like you put a middle name in there.
Yeah, Luca della Libera.
Luca della Libera. So LDL.
Yeah.
That's a type of cholesterol, if I'm not mistaken.
I didn't know that, but
You
that's
didn't, you
cool.
didn't know that was an LDL. LDL was a type of cholesterol. I was going to ask you if you have any cholesterol related nicknames that your friends have given you, because I have heart issues, so I didn't want that to intercept with our business.
Oh, I don't think it would be a problem. I had never heard that before, so
Yeah,
I think we're good on that.
it was probably not a good thing that that NYU shut the dorms down, because you clearly need to hit the books a little more. LDL. Listen, Luca, I'll be straight with you, man. The reason that you pushed through to these other rounds, like your pure resume and experience and things that you've done as like just from like a personal standpoint, were probably the most impressive out of any of the applicants that came through. The more I looked into like your portfolio and stuff, the more I've seen the way you operate and the things that you put out. Very, very, very impressive. So you have been doing stand-up comedy since you were 13 years old.
Yeah.
And I saw some of the clips on there. I saw you doing some. I mean, I think I've been on many dates at these comedy clubs before. I feel like I might have even fucking seen you performing there. I saw you at Gotham. You've
Yeah.
been doing it for years now, 8 years basically. That's tough for fucking anyone, whether you're 13 or you're 33 or 39. So you do this comedy stuff. You also have like your own YouTube channel where you put out, I've seen like the NYU Cypher. I saw the quarantine rap that you put out the other day. So you're like a very creative person. You know, you have a message that you want to get out there, or you have a way of delivering things, and you don't care about putting yourself out there. Where does that come from? Like, where do you have the what's the inspiration behind that? Like, where do you get the courage to stand on stage at fucking 13, 14, 15 years old in front of a crowd in New York City?
Well, I guess when I was little, I used to. Well, I don't mean to get like too personal, but my parents got divorced when I was smaller back in Brazil, and that was like pretty rough on me as a kid. And I remember I would just like watch a lot of stand up, like my
Not
dad.
not not to cut you off, but the first clip I ever saw you do was like my parents are divorced. Thoughts? I was like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, that's really good. So I figured it was some truth to that. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so then I would always watch like Jerry Seinfeld. That was like the first guy I started watching, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do like word for word. I'm just gonna do a Jerry Seinfeld routine at the school talent show. I go up, like there were probably like 300 people there. I couldn't get a word out of my mouth. I could only like remember like topics. I'd said like dogs, planes, and then I left the stage, and I was so embarrassed. But like that kind of made me like want to do it more after a while, like after I thought about it, just to like redeem myself. And then ever since then, I've been really interested in it, and I knew that I wanted to go to school here in New York to like pursue that as well as sports. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
It's impressive. I can't imagine standing on stage in front of 300 people. Even now, to this day, I think about where if I ever have opportunities to stand up there and do something like that, like I don't know if I can't do it, but I wouldn't want to do it. Like, are you comfortable now doing that stuff?
Yeah, now for sure because I host this like family show on weekends at Gotham. So I'm on stage like a lot and a lot of open mics. So then after a while, you just like even when you don't do well, you just kind of like accept it and get used to it. But it's like what Scott Hansen said on the interview you did with him. Like when you're prepared, it's like you don't really get nervous as much. So it's kind of like that sort of thing.
Okay, interesting. How long if you are going on stage for like how long are your typical sets if you're going on to a stage for comedy?
When I'm hosting, they're usually like 10 minutes at the start, then maybe some in the middle. But I'm just doing like a regular set, maybe like 20 minutes. I've never done really much longer than that.
That's pretty long though, 20 minutes. How long do you prepare for to go up there for 20 minutes?
But like since I'm doing open mics like several times a week, sometimes like multiple in a day, like all the jokes are kind of already memorized. So I just like put them together, put the sets together. But I guess before that, when I was a kid, I would be like for weeks just always reciting them in my room to memorize them all. But now it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's impressive. So tell me about like the YouTube videos and stuff you make. So you not only do the comedy stuff, but you're into rapping a little bit too. Is this just like, do you just see any kind of creative outlet as a way to just like say fucking and put yourself out there?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been into music and I guess the wordplay and stuff. So I thought that like rap was a good medium for comedy too, like funny raps. Like I did an NFL rap, stuff like that. So it was just kind of, I guess, another means to like put stuff out there. But sometimes it's tough, you know, not especially when I was starting out. The content was pretty bad. So a lot of friends in high school, I guess it would be kind of cringy. And at the time, like, it was tough for me. But eventually, like, I just started making this stuff better to the point. Like I wanted it to be good so that people couldn't like say anything about it. I don't know if I'm there yet, but at least that's what I'm trying to do.
You're definitely getting there. I respect the hustle that you have. I respect the, you know, just putting yourself out there is difficult in today's world, especially at such a young age for you. So definitely hats off to that. So I've watched a lot of your stuff, a lot of the stuff that you had in your portfolio. And for anyone interested out there, I will link that. I should have linked it before, but I didn't have too much time in between the last call and this call. I'll link his stuff down below, and you guys can go check it out and then go roast him into the comment section, bring him back to elementary school and make him feel a little uneasy again. Yeah. One thing I noticed was that I don't think I saw or heard a single curse word in any of your content. Is that correct?
In stand-up, yeah, that's correct.
Are you like, you're like Chameleonaire? Isn't that the rapper Chameleonaire? He doesn't curse, but he's gone like multi-platinum, but he's never cursed. Why don't you curse? You just stand there smiling without cursing the whole time.
I mean, I guess in stand-up, I'd say it's mostly because I'm hosting these like family shows on the weekends, so I know I can't curse there. And then a lot of my other material kind of like gets sucked into that because or else I can't use it at those shows. But I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I curse a lot in my day-to-day life and in some stand-up jokes that I do that I won't take to the family shows. So, okay, you know, fuck.
There we go. I need another one. Yeah, can you say like "fuck you, Nick"?
Fuck you, Nick.
All right, that's one fired strike. Don't ever do that again. Okay, so you've done a lot in America. Go to NYU, but I've seen on your resume you spent a lot of time in Brazil, right?
Yeah.
Was that where you were born? Is that where you grew up? I mean, you went to fucking, or you worked a little bit at Ernst & Young in Brazil. Like, give me a little background on this whole Brazilian thing. Is this real?
Yeah, I'm Brazilian. I lived there my whole life until I moved here for college. So when I was doing the stand-up like at Gotham, I was just coming here for summers. But I've been living in Brazil my whole life, and that's where I'm from.
Was your English really bad when you first started?
Yeah, really bad.
So 13-year-old Luca was on stage at fucking Gotham Comedy Club, and you could barely speak English.
Yeah, there are a few jokes about that, like learning English too. But yeah, it was tough, but all good now.
Okay, interesting. So what do you, being in New York City, what are some of your favorite spots? Have you lived in New Jersey at all?
I've spent a lot of time here.
Sir?
What's up?
Put your damn camera on. This is your first rodeo?
Is it off?
No, it's not.
Oh, here it is. The big reveal.
FB God Noah is in the house sporting that fucking headband. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing okay. I mean, I've spent all day fucking interviewing people, so I've had better days, but this has been kind of fun. It's been enjoyable for me. It's a first time experience, so.
Yeah, I didn't go through any of this stuff.
Yeah, no, you kind of made it in naturally. I was telling Jack on the first interview, I was like, on record, you're the first person I've ever actually interviewed for an actual job, right? Between yourself and Scott and Snacks and Animal and stuff, I'm always just like, yo, like shut your mouth. You're gonna do this, you know. It was always like that.
Yeah, it was good timing because I definitely did not have any of these qualifications.
No, you would have absolutely blundered your interview if I put you on here. Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Luca, eu tenho duas perguntas para você.
Oh, let's go.
Como se diz cachorros grandes precisam comer em inglês?
Big dogs gotta eat.
All right, test one was passed. I got another one for you. Por que você merece ser a puta de Nick?
I'd say I deserve it because, well, as I said in my video, I really think I'd be the most hardworking because that's something that I'm priding myself in. So I guess the translation for the people on YouTube, he asked, why do I deserve to be Nick's bitch? And then
I heard a
second
puta in there.
Yeah. And then second reason, I think I've had a lot of experiences in other internships and just in content that I put out to where I think I would have skills to contribute to the team and I would be useful to you guys.
Noah, do you believe him?
I 100% believe him. And I have a question about one of his skills. Would you be willing to ghostwrite any diss tracks just in case somebody starts acting up in the offseason?
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Okay, because we're due for a battle within the space right now. And a lot of people are getting chirpy. A lot of people are, getting on edge. And it's only a matter of time before we go to fucking war with somebody. And we're going to need as many rappers, as many memers, as many just content savages as we can possibly get. So one more rapper in the back burner can't hurt.
I'm here for it.
We're all in agreement there?
100%.
Beautiful. And we are out. Goodbye, Noah.
Peace. Good luck, Luca.
Thank you.
Get him the fuck out of here. All right, back to New York City. So you live in New York now. Do you go out often? Like, you're in NYU. Are you jumping out and going, doing the fucking young person thing?
Yeah, definitely. Until I lost my fake. So then it's been a little tougher since then. But now I'm all good.
When you say you lost your fake, did you physically lose it or did you get it taken away?
Whenever I tell people, they think I got it taken away, but I physically lost it. And it was a good one, too. It was like a Brazilian one, so no one knew what it was supposed to look like. So, it would never get taken. But I just physically misplaced it.
You know what's fucked up? And this is just popped into my head for the first time in 10 years probably. I had a few fake IDs when I was younger, and I remember I gave one to one of my friends, Larry Lunch. If you're in here, fuck you very much, and you're going to remember this story. I gave it to him to go down the shore one weekend, down the Jersey Shore, and he got home, I guess, from the bar, and he was making mac and cheese, and he used my fake ID to stir the mac and cheese while it was in the pot, and it melted and it burned the entire fucking fake ID. So I've lost one through mac and cheese deaths. I've gotten them taken away in New York City because they're pretty serious about it, but I guess you can hide behind the whole Brazilian thing. Now, something that you mentioned in your resume or your cover letter, I don't remember where the fuck it was. It makes sense if it was a cover letter. You said Brazil. I think it was the last note that you put on your application. You said Brazil is one of the biggest markets in terms of fantasy football right now, and you kind of listed that as a reason, that you should get a leg up. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Brazil has internet. They have access to YouTube, so I'm not sure where you would come into play in terms of me accessing the Brazilian market. They could find me if they need to, right?
Dude, I'm glad you asked. The thing is, Brazilians don't know how to speak English. Very few of them do. So there's Brazil is actually the third biggest country in terms of NFL fan base in the world. It's U.S., Mexico, then Brazil. So I was really surprised by that. And there's there's very little content out there, fantasy football content or gambling content in Portuguese. So there's a lot of fans that want this, but there's nobody doing that would be where maybe if we wanted to do draft guides in Portuguese, anything like that, I think that would be pretty big there.
Okay, so you want to be the spokesperson to all the people that don't. I don't understand how they could be the third largest NFL fandom country and they don't speak English. We make it I feel very difficult for people that are not English speaking to follow the NFL. No. Yeah,
well, ESPN in Brazil has actually been really big in pushing it. So we have Brazilian announcers that do the games, and it's on ESPN pretty much. Every Sunday they'll show all the primetime games and some of the 1 p.m. games. So it's been growing. There's a lot of meme pages and stuff. So yeah, there's just no there's no you guys. There's no the CBS fantasy football podcast, NFL Fantasy Live. There's none of that. There's just the games.
All right. Well, you might have your first task if we decide to move forward with you. Then, Luca, we'll figure out how to translate all my shit. You'll be a human Google translator. I like that. Okay, so we could explore Brazil. What would you say the second one was? Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
How different are the languages? This is an ignorant question. I understand. It's Portuguese in Brazil. What are
Yeah.
you doing, Zach? What are you calling me for during the middle of a fucking interview? We got business calls getting fucking done. I'm pissed. I'm over this. I'm sorry. Continue.
I could use Spanish too. Yeah, it's not too different.
How many languages do you speak? Why do I feel like you're going to say like 7?
No. Just English, Portuguese, and I guess a little bit of Spanish, but I wouldn't say I'm like fluent.
Okay. What's the next creative endeavor you could see yourself tackling? Right, like stand up is one thing. Making the YouTube videos, the rapping is one thing. Do you have something that you could see yourself? Maybe like you have not even thought about starting it realistically, but maybe in like 10 years you could see yourself trying to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved sports and obviously loved like I guess doing like putting content out there. So doing what you guys do, I guess, where I was always interested in doing stuff like being on camera talking about sports, but for this internship, I would just like to help behind the scenes with stuff like that because that is something that in the future I might like want to do myself.
Okay, so for this job, realistically, I mean, did you watch the first couple live streams?
Yeah.
You watched the interviews.
Yes.
How much did you texted me prior to 2 days ago or whatever? You're like, I've been trying to like prep for the interview. I don't really know like what to be looking at and shit. And I was like, we're just gonna fucking talk, and my friends will be assholes to you on the internet, and that's about it. So like, what exactly were you looking at, or what were you doing to try to prepare for this?
Well, I mean, I was going back and like rewatching some of the videos just to get a better sense of like the brand and what you guys do well and what the market is like pretty much. But then I was also looking into what other people in fantasy football are doing. And, it was kind of tough. That's why I texted you because I didn't know what else to do. Thinking of questions to ask, stuff like that. But it was good that I was the last interview because I got to watch like the ones before, study some film and all that.
Yeah, you got to, take down some notes and definitely get some game film in there. So that will be subtracted from your final score, Luca. I'm not going to sit here and lie to your face, but if you can more than make up for it during the interview, then listen, you're good enough to go. So as a creator, like you're not going to be creating per se. I mean, you could be an on-camera guy. You're going to be as good as we make. Oh my God.
What up, young blood? Get yourself one of these. All right?
That's Mr. Thavaraja, Mr. Steve Thavaraja.
I was the first intern of BDGE ever, so I already hate you, Lucas.
Okay, understandable.
And now I'm pissed you didn't correct me because I said Lucas instead of Luca. That's another fire.
Damn it.
It sounds.
A lot of people call me Luca.
They call you what?
All right.
A lot of people call me Lucas. I'm kind of used to it.
So what are acceptable names for you? We have Luke, we have Lucas, we have Luca. Is there any more that we need to know about? Non-cholesterol related?
Those are the only 2 or 3.
Okay.
All right. I cannot see him, by the way. I don't know why, but
Yeah, he's kind of frozen right now. You know what he looks like anyways. Steve, you know exactly what he looks like.
Yeah, I do. And I have a question for you.
Yes,
It's
sir.
just you. Were you in Meet the Fockers?
I was not.
Was that your daddy?
Might have been. I would have to ask my mom. Kind of an embarrassing question.
You look exactly like Ben Stiller's fake son from Meet the Fockers. It's an uncanny resemblance. It's kind of fucked up. Has anyone ever told you that?
I've still before. I've gotten like Andre the Giant. That one kind of hurt.
No, don't listen to those fucking assholes. I was actually going to ask you what other ones that you've got. That's ridiculous.
Luca, I know you do comedy. I just want to see if you can make me smile, make me chuckle.
Shit. I mean, am I like? Is the Wi-Fi good? Can you guys hear and everything?
We can hear you. Don't blame the Wi-Fi.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'll do like what I usually open up with. Like usually when I say I'm from Brazil, like people will come up to me after the show. Like one time, this dude came up to me after the show. He was like, "Oh, you're from Brazil. What part of Brazil are you from?" And I was like, "Oh, São Paulo." And he was like, "You don't say that like you're from Brazil, because that was supposed to be like São Paulo, or some shit like that." But like this guy kept talking, like he kept being like, "Are you actually from Brazil?" Like I hate when people say they're from Brazil, but they're not actually from Brazil. Like, prove it. Prove you're from Brazil. Prove it. So I robbed him.
That was pretty good.
Damn. Fuck you, Lucas. You got me.
Okay. That's all you got, Steve? We out?
Oh yeah. Do you have anything else for you? Usually I don't know anything about fantasy football, but I've been fired at least 94 times in my life. So I just need someone that I can chill with at the HQ. So I gotta know that I can just chill with you, tell you my secrets that you're not gonna run off and tell Nick. How do I know you're a vault?
Answer the question correctly, because if I ask you what's going on with Steve, you have to tell me. So what are you going to do here? Steve tells you a secret, tells you not to tell me. I tell you, you have to tell me. What you doing? WYD, girl.
I think I'm gonna have to be loyal. No, I can't tell you. Nick.
I respect that.
You might have to fire me for that.
That was
Wow.
that was the right answer. I'm a fan of that answer. If you had come and told me, your ass would have been fired. But I'm gonna actually give you another fire strike on the counter, because
What am I at?
you're at 3 right now. So I think you're at where Jack was. I believe that Matt got up to 5 at one point. So let's get back to normalcy. Fucking switching between 32 tabs when I have my asshole friends popping in here is so difficult to keep my mind on the prize. How you doing, Luca? How we holding up? You still nervous? You good to go?
No, I mean, I'm very excited to be here.
Love that. Love the energy. Very excited to be here. Okay, Luca. So going back to New York City, you go out, you do your thing. Before you got your fake ID taken away, what were some of your favorite places to go to in New York?
I mean, honestly, this is kind of dumb, but probably the funnest times I had is one of the funnest times is when a bunch of my friends late night we got on the Roosevelt Island tram and just hung out there at 2 a.m. It was kind of weird and eerie, but I don't know, that was fun. But just I guess there's so much to do. You just go out and find stuff.
Yeah, you know what? It's a great answer, because it's the thing I love the most about New York City, that you never know what the fuck you're gonna do on any given night, and things like that end up being fun. So I respect that answer. Have you ever been out in Hoboken, New Jersey?
Yeah, one time for an interview.
Where did you go? You say for an interview?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've never actually been out there though, out at night. Okay, cool. I'm gonna take away a fire strike from you, because that's a good choice by yourself. Shout out to BTB. Rebecca, happy birthday. I don't know if it's actually your birthday or not, but you're going to yell at me if I don't do that to you. I also need to take a minute to thank the sponsor of today's video. So as a marketing whiz, within a 2-hour period, I was able to secure a couple sponsors for this interview series. And the sponsor today is actually from a friend of mine. That's Steph. Now, Steph is offering her sexual services today. Steph is, I don't actually know. It's kind of embarrassing. Steph, I don't know your last name. I've always had you in my phone as Maris Steph, as Backdoor Steph, as Brown Steph, as bad as that seems. So I'm going to have to check what your last name is. That's my bad, Steph. I apologize to you. But here's what we're going to do. You use promo code BDGE when you text Steph at 201-783-4765. It's 201-783-4765. You text Steph, you use the promo code BDGE, you're getting a free hand job and a free week of good morning, baby. Hope you have a good day text messages. Thank you for sponsoring today's video, Steph. Luca, I'm going to need you to open up your phone. I'm going to need you to open up your phone.
Open.
Opened? Okay. If you watched last interview that I did with Matt, I asked to see his most frequently used emojis. I need to see these.
Okay. Hang on. I. Can you see these?
Move it a little bit over to the right. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Okay, this is beautiful. I don't see any heart eye emojis. I don't see any of the fake laughing emojis. That's a good start. What is your most used emoji, you would say?
Used. I like the face palm, like that guy.
Yeah, that's another one of not my favorites, to be honest. The less emojis we use, the better. So if we're gonna be working together, if we're in a group text or something like that, don't you ever, 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 ever send me an emoji, okay?
Yep. Deleted from my phone.
Yes. Okay, we can move forward now. So this is another question that I asked the other couple guys. As someone who puts out content yourself, as someone who I'm assuming has watched some of my content before, what other brands, companies, content creators do you follow along, that you're passionate about, that you think do a really good job in today's space? And what about them, whether it's some kind of tactic or whether it's like the core of their content or the personalities around it, do you think makes you so invested into what they're doing?
Yeah. Do you know Brett Coleman on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm friends with Brett, actually. We talk from time to time on Twitter. I like that dude a lot, actually.
I think what's cool about him is like the quality, even though he doesn't post that much, the quality of when he posts is so high, and it's not like he has any logo or anything like that, but he does have a brand in the sense that all the videos are similar, like the music, you know what to expect, and you know what kind of quality you're getting whenever you click. So I think it's cool that he was able to grow his channel without really being like that present on Instagram or like having to promote anything like that, just based off pure, like, I guess, quality of what he's putting out there. So that's something I look up to. But I mean, I know that nowadays, like, it probably goes against you not to have a big social media presence. So I guess that's something that he would maybe need to do in the future. But I do really like his stuff.
Yeah, Brett does really high quality videos. I think he has like what is he at, like 75,000 subscribers maybe?
Oh, I think it's like 200K or something.
Oh, he's at okay, so he's way bigger than that. Yeah, Brett's big in the YouTube space. I think he's relatively big in the Twitter space. But yeah, he's always someone that I respected because the production of his stuff is good, but like the information that he actually gives out to you, I think is really second to none as well. And it's in kind of a niche that I think a lot of people they just don't do it as well as he does. So I think he's been able to separate himself that way as well. So I'm a fan of Brett's for sure. So here's the thing, like, you live in New York, right? So for these other guys, I don't know how realistic it is for them with the whole Corona thing going on, and if they're going to be able to come in New York and stay here or stay in another apartment or something. Like, when's the travel ban going to get lifted and whatever? You being in New York would mean that I would expect you to be here. Would you be willing to come to the headquarters before the lockdown was lifted? How much commitment are you willing to put into the brand? Are you willing to get COVID-19? Do you know what COVID-19 stands for?
Coronavirus disease 2019.
Well done. Okay. Continue with the other questions.
I think I would. I'd be willing if it was just like me and you. But the thing is, I'm in a house with my family and like my little cousins.
Are you staying in Emerson for the remainder of the quarantine?
Yeah, well, because they kicked us out of the dorm, so I guess for the foreseeable future.
If I needed you to, my mom probably lives. What block on Emerson do you live on?
You know, like Soldier Hill.
Yeah, I know Soldier Hill.
It's pretty much like a road that crosses Soldier Hill, Congress Road.
Okay, I actually think I have. There might be people in this chat that literally live on Congress Road right now. Okay, well, listen, my mom lives in Emerson. If I need you to go get her groceries or something from the Stop and Shop in town, are you going to do that for me?
Yeah, I'm there. Easily.
Love that. If I need you to go talk to Steve's parents who just was on this call, would you go knock on their door, spit a rap at their faces, and then walk away?
Right now, before this interview is done.
Fuck, I need you to repeat that again because you kind of cut out for a second.
Yeah, I'll write the rap as soon as this interview's done.
All right, Steve, you tell your parents to be on the motherfucking lookout because Luca's coming to spit the hot fire at them. All right, this is really interesting. I still I'm semi not believing that you are shelled up in Emerson right now, but good for you. Maybe I'll be back in Emerson before the quarantine's over, and then we could link up and walk down Soldier Hill together, 6 feet apart, and figure some shit out. Figure some shit out where we can link up before the lockdown is over.
That's my snap map, Ordell.
I see that. That is the home sweet home in New Jersey. So, you know what? I can't really ask you that question. I should have asked one of the kids that were coming in from out of state because you're already kind of dormed up in NYU. Have they given you any sort of notion? Are you taking online classes right now? I'm assuming, right? Have they given you any sort of like direction into the future? Have they said anything about like next semester being impacted or affected?
Yeah, they said, well, summer classes got canceled, but they said the plan is fall classes to be normal, but obviously like day by day, so they're not sure.
Okay, fair enough. So we're gonna wrap this interview up shortly. I wanted to get your feel of what this position really was, because you're someone who likes to be in front of the camera. You're a creative type. Like, are you going to be okay if I stick a camera in your fucking hands for the majority of the time that you're here? You will be able to get to work. You will be able to get to work on the creative side of things and, you know, put that out into the world as well. But is that something that you're actually interested in, not being kind of like the face of things?
Yeah, completely. Like, I just want to contribute in any way, really. Like, whatever you guys need and think would be useful. I'm just like, I would just be excited to be working around sports and around you guys. So not a problem.
Okay. So 5-10 year plan. Now, I don't need you to have like a plan, but like you're in business and marketing. You've done things creatively, and outside of like, you know, getting hired at Big Dogs or whatever, what's like ideal for you? What's like best case scenario 5-10 years down the line, like job that you would have? Is it like being a fucking ESPN anchor or being a full-time YouTuber? Or like where would you ideally end up in 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to work at a big sports company like ESPN or the NFL. So I think that would be a goal. But then I guess in the meantime, I'll also be doing stand-up. So I guess if you would ask, like, dream would be to be able to do stand-up full-time. But what I'm actually doing in terms of school and, like, internships is working in sports. So any sort of big sports company, that's my goal, always been.
So what are people that are in stand-up doing right now while they can't have the clubs open?
They're doing Zoom shows. It's really bad. Awful.
Really? Well, I can imagine if they were fucking on connections like this and they're trying to deliver jokes and stuff. Who shows up to those? Like, what crowd?
No one, and some of them are paid. Like, I'm not going to that.
It's terrible. I think you should host one for the Big Dogs audience.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
What if we get 200 people on Zoom to listen to you live? You think you'd be ready to do that?
Yeah, I'd be down. How are they doing in the comments? Are they enjoying this?
I have no idea. I stay away from the comments while I'm doing the interview so that I could focus on you, but I haven't figured out how to turn the little pop sound off every time a comment comes up. And there have to have been 500 already. So when you go back, you'll be able to read. I saw for a second a couple of my friends that are girls that are saying you look so cute on camera and you're so innocent and shit. So we started off soft, but I'm sure they hardened up on you a little bit. I really respect you putting yourself out there creatively and what you've done so far. And like I said, you know, the other guys are very talented at what they do as well, the design work, the video, the photography. But I really, really respect the creative angle that you come at it with in terms of just putting yourself out there. It takes a lot of balls to do that, no matter what level you're at, no matter what age you're at. You know, 99% of people will never find a point in their life where they're comfortable enough to do that shit. So you doing that at such a young age is very impressive to me. So I wanted to first throw that out there to you. Also, thank you for coming through and doing the application and sending in the secondary video and just the work you've put up to this point, you know, to where you are now and coming on and chatting with me for an hour. So with that being said, do you have any questions for myself before I throw a couple more fired strikes on you and end the call?
Yeah, well, first, thanks so much for the nice words, Nick. I really appreciate that. Happy to be here. And I was also just wondering, like, kind of similar to what you just asked me, where do you see BDGE in 5 years? Like, where are you trying to get to?
That's a good question. I've been at kind of a crossroads with this in terms of looking at long term or just taking it day by day. Ideas definitely pop up into my head. I would say at the core of what I want to do, what I want to turn this into, this whole studio, this whole headquarters thing is it's the beta version for what I see happening in 5 to 10 years. What I want to do is continue making really fucking high quality content and continue building the brand with a very strong foundation until the point we have a large audience and we have a lot of leverage over serious companies, right? Serious companies that want to work with us. And I want to create this think tank kind of feel where we have creators coming in and out, and they don't necessarily have to work with me or work for me. They can be some of my friends. This is an idea that I've discussed with some of my close friends and family before. But in 5 to 10 years, I would like to open up my own creative think tank and have people, excited to come in and work there all the time, whether it's on my shit or whether it's on their own creative thing. Because I think when you can create a space where people are not afraid to put themselves out there and not afraid to, just make things and show their creative side. Like, there's a lot of judgment that goes around in the world today, and a lot of people don't start shit because they're scared of the whole outside world. But if I can create a safe space where everyone wants to do that shit, and this is not like, Just Works where I'd be charging people. This is just straight. I want this. Maybe it's a selfish thing. Maybe it would make me work better being around a lot of other creative people. But I would love for that spot to be probably completely paid for by some kind of fucking company like Sony or Panasonic, and they hook us up with computers and desks and audio and lighting and fucking microphones and all of that shit just done for us. People can come in, come out, open 24/7, and just make a creative think tank. So I know that is completely fucking spiraled off of what we're doing right now, but long term, I think all the work I'm putting in right now, that is where I eventually see this coming to.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I was also wondering what made you decide to hire interns, like this was the time.
I would say the summer is just our busiest season, so we need as much help as we can during that time. I understand that I don't really have to pay interns a lot of money, especially when you've built a brand and people want to pay for you. Like, I feel like, if I put out the internship and I said this was unpaid, I would probably have the same amount of people trying to apply for it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel that way. So it was more so I want to pay you guys. I want to pay you for your work. I want you to want to be here. But last summer, I wasn't in Manhattan. I was in Brooklyn, so it was kind of out of the way to do that. Summer before that, I was still back home in New Jersey, so it wasn't anywhere that you guys can come to. This is the first time that I've had a physical location where people can come together to. Plus, we have money that I'm willing to invest into the intern. So it's a timing thing in terms of workload. It's a physical location thing, and it's just having the right space and resources to get this off the ground quick. And we can invest a lot of money into shit, and I could take money from people if they want to invest into the company. And we've had a bunch of offers, but I don't want to scale too quickly. I don't ever want to give away leverage. So if we can get a lot of the work done with people that are passionate and young and have a creative mind like yourself in here for a cheap buck that just love to do what we're doing, then we could scale that way without having to take fucking dirty VC money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions for myself, Luca?
Yeah, just one more. Did you just DM Scott Hansen? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I need to fucking find a new guest for next week's interview. It's the last one before the NFL draft. Yeah, Scott Hansen, I was just like, I thought about him, and then Scott, my editor, hit me up. He's like, dude, you got to get Scott Hansen. I was like, that's a great fucking idea. Went on Twitter, saw he had like 250,000 followers. His DMs weren't open. I was like, there's no way I'll get in touch with him. I went on Instagram. He only had like 15K. His DMs were open. So I wrote him out this lengthy fucking paragraph, complimenting him and shit and just telling him he's the fucking best thing that the world has ever seen, which is not far from the truth. He was like, thanks, Nick. I usually don't do these kind of appearances, but here's my PR guy's email. Email him and you guys can figure some shit out. And this PR guy was like, yeah, we can do Friday from 12:40 p.m. to 12:58 p.m. on the dot. He can't be out any later than that. So I had no communication with Scott from the last DM he sent me on Instagram up until the minute we were on air. So it was just straight up DMing him answering, seeing it, saying yes, and coming on, somehow making it work.
Yeah, that was the...
Oh, no. Okay. I thought we cut off there. All right, Luca. Again, thank you for your time. If we've got no other questions or nothing else to throw in here. That will be the conclusion of this interview. I hope y'all out there enjoyed. And Luca, you get the pleasure of going back to the live stream now and going and seeing what the chat has to say about you. You did fantastic. You did a really good job. Definitely no argument from me there. And it was a pleasure talking to you. I will be in touch soon.
Thank you, Nick. Have a nice day.
Enjoy Emerson. All right, people. How we feeling? Let me open up this fucking live chat. I can't see anything on YouTube yet. We still here? Am I still live? Did I shut down live? Oh, Lord. Terry! Terry! Okay, we're in YouTube now. No question, Luca. We need height and weight to see if you're a freak out. Ladies love cook Luca. Oh man, they're liking Luca, man. They're fucking with Luca. Yo, y'all gotta chill. Oh my Lord, Terry. Just decide now, call him back and hire him. No, I have to think about this decision right now. I have to think about there's a few different angles I could see myself going with after these interviews. And I want to be fair. I don't want to put anything bad on these kids. I don't want to, talk shit about any of them. They all came on here. What they did today was fucking courageous. If you had asked me as a 20, 21-year-old kid to come on here and get fucking shit on in front of a live YouTube audience, I would be shitting my pants. I would be terrified. They all came in here somewhat prepared, but I really respect them for coming on. So before you talk shit to any of them, please acknowledge that what they did was absolutely courageous, and most of y'all fuckers couldn't have done it at age 20. So I respect them for that. I want to say thank y'all if you end up watching the remaining parts of this video. If y'all came along for the interviews, I really appreciate it. And I will put, are you making the decision right now? I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure I have the final decision in my head right now, but I don't want to make it live on air right now. There's a reason why I don't want to do it. So I think I know what I'm going to do. You'll probably have to stay tuned in my next vlog, or I'll probably tweet it out in a little bit. So you'll have to follow along. But today was fun as fuck. I'm glad you guys came in and chopped it up with me. I hear the fucking things popping up left and right over here. Renee, would you? What's Lucas' channel? I wouldn't do it. Nicolette, I would never hire you. You would never make it past the first 10 seconds of an interview. I'm gonna put Luca's portfolio and his shit in the description of this video. So if you check back in like 5 minutes or just refresh the page, I'll do it right now actually for y'all. Actually, I lied. I'm not gonna do that. Fuck that. You can check back in like 5 minutes. How will you announce it? I will announce it via Twitter. I will announce it via YouTube or vlog or something. I don't fucking know. I really don't know. Yeah. I'll also announce it via the Instagram Big Dogs page. Okay, so at Big Dogs Fantasy, make sure you're following at Big Dogs Fantasy on Instagram. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Nick_BDGE. You guys want me to do some ASMR? What the fuck is Luca's channel? I don't know, fucking dude. Just go. It's fucking 2020. Google his name. I'm sorry, Rick Ross. I didn't mean that. Understand that you can't hire them right away. You have to give them an offer first. Thanks, David. Despite popular belief, I know what the fuck I'm doing from a business standpoint. Do your family conference. Do a YouTube live quick vlog of the analysis of the candidates. Interesting. I'll get Luca's channel. I'll link all that shit in the description. His portfolio has most of his videos, so that's what I'll be putting onto the description. But that's all I got for the interviews today, guys. I gotta be honest. I'm fucking wiped out. I'm exhausted. I'm about to fire myself for the 5th time. Steve, what do you want? Hello? Yeah. What are you calling me? You know I'm still live on the air, right? We on the air? No, I can't. I don't want to say it right now. You're not on speaker, but like my face is right in front of the microphone. I'm still on YouTube. Fuck. No, see, the reason I don't want to announce it is because there's a different angle, there's a different twist to this that I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go a different route. Okay. All right, that's it. I'm disconnecting. Make sure you hit up Steph 201-783-4765. Free hand jobs and free good morning. I hope you have a great day, honey. Text messages. Use promo code BDGE. Love you. Bye.